Hey everyone, I'm gonna go over my 12 hours of progress on the new hero, Growing Breeze Iris. This is to help people who are also playing the character to kind of know what I did at the start instead of just being like, here's the build at the end, and you have no idea how I got there. So, how did we start this character? Well, we started off with Flame Spirit, and at the beginning, I think it was Servant Damage. And then once we unlocked Duo, we added the Duo. Then we got Elemental Fusion and we added that. And we added Harvest Time at this point. And we removed minion damage at that point to put in the Harvest Time. Then we got the extra spot back. So we got Servant Damage back in here. And we ended it off with Critical Strike. All right. We've got Nourishment of Life. And right away we put on Increased Area. And as soon as we could, I think it was like level 55, we get Rhythm. And we put Rhythm on. And what that does is every 6 seconds, it auto-casts it. Well, guess what? It has a 10-second cooldown, but you get reduced cooldown. So it gets to the point, in theory, where it's going to be a 6-second cooldown, and it gets auto-cast every time. So that's pretty cool. All right. We went with Blink, Quick Mobility, and Magic Dash. Now, there are options here. You can go Shadow Dash, which is fine if you want an extra charge. But it's a little longer cooldown. The other one you can do is if you want to use the maces, like the Interlocking Souls while you're leveling instead of wands, which is great if you get them, you should be using the Leap Slam. All right. And if you're using the Leap Slam, you could also be using the Thunder Spirits instead of the Flame Spirits, and it's a whole different thing, but you could do that. All right. We're going to go over to Elemental Shock. And at this point, very important skill. So as soon as you get this, you want to add it up. Mania, cooldown reduction. I'm going to add an extended duration in here as well. And essentially, it's huge. It's a big damage boost for you guys. So you want that. Dazzling Bloom, we throw that in there. This is also, it's good. It repositions the minions where you want them. It makes them target the highest rarity. So it focuses fire, the danger, which is great, as well as boosting them by 60% additional damage. It's only for 2 seconds, but that's a huge number. All right, we start off with Swiftness. As soon as you unlock your aura, you throw some Rejuvenation in there when you got some extra 10 points to buy it. Then we're going to throw an Elemental Resistance so we don't have to worry about our gear and making sure we're resistance cap and balancing everything, because that's a headache and it takes a lot of time. So for the 12 hours, I just wanted to level as fast as I could. So I just threw this on and it saved me so much time. It made me like almost unkillable until like tier 6 is when I was like, oh, stuff's starting to hurt. And I didn't think I died until tier 7. So highly recommend throwing that on. And then we finish it off with Elemental Amplification. This is big damage boost. Now, this isn't the end game. Obviously, we're going to have lots more auras. We're going to have some auto defense, stuff like that going on here. But this is all I did for the first 12 hours. And this was my leveling process. So while you're going through that leveling process, this is good enough to get everything going. As for the talents, we got God of Machines. We started off with. We just kind of followed the damage. Damage, attack speed, crit obviously picks up. Cooldown recovery. You get both of these eventually, but I think I picked up the Spirit Magnus one first because the way the points are, and then you end out with minion damage and at skill level. At this point, you have 20. So I didn't get this, and I didn't get this for just capping out the tree at 20 once. All right, we picked up Orders, and we picked up Mighty Guard. Once I got 20, I went to Alchemist. And I maxed out the Alchemist. Again, followed the damage, minion damage, attack speed. You can pick up some regeneration. I think I came back here. I didn't prioritize it. Same thing with this life. But you also may need to pick some of these up to unlock here. Like, once you get here, you may need to get to 9. So you put some points in here, and yeah, you unlock these. So crit rating, regeneration, mana regeneration. Same thing. This was not a priority. I think I came back later. I went through crit first. Then I got minion damage, Spirit Magus, chance to use enhanced skill, and Spirit Magus damage. So that's really good. Movement speed, so as I want to level quickly. More movement speed for same reason. Now down here, this is also a good skill if you prefer more damage oriented and you don't care about move speed that much like I do. You just get these instead of the move speed, and you'll be dealing more damage, moving, what is this, 9 and 2, 4, 6. So 15% slower. It's not a big deal. It's really not. You end this out with Spirit Magnus effect, and then 8% damage taken is transferred to your minions, and this is makes you really tanky, you know, surprisingly. Obviously, we're grabbing Source. We're in the Spirit Magnus tree. We're gonna grab Source. That's why we're here. So we picked it up. And finally, the Talons of Abyss. It gives you lots of growths and cooldown recovery speed. It's just, yeah, it's the one you want. We ended out with Steel Vanguard now, okay? Now, Steel Vanguards, oh, look at this pattern, guys. We're following the damage again. Damage, attack speed, sealed mana, really big deal. Empowered, really big deal. At this point, I think I came down here. I grabbed the elemental resistance. This is huge, minus 10% elemental damage taken. Massive, massive defensive node. Definitely pick it up. Another massive node converts 15% of physical damage taken to random elemental. These are like two really massive value. Like 2 talent points for that much value is insane. You're really strong defensively. I just grabbed the minion damage here because I don't think I prioritized it. This was like the last thing I put because I had to put extra points to do this. But yeah, we grabbed the minion damage. We don't need the rest of this stuff. Just the minion damage there. This is the one you prioritize. This is the one you prioritize. I like the damage penetration. You grab those. Once you're done, this is what I did. Once I was done here, this was open. So I think I grabbed that. Then I went up here for the minus mana and aura effects, which is great because I'm going to end up putting on more auras. We got life here. This is like 90 plus stuff. I just put this in. So don't worry too much about that. I came back later and I think I put in the erosion resistances as well. So I think I put the erosion resistances in and then I grabbed some life I went over the cap. Reflection is the big one we want. Again, it's going to give us aura effect. If you're not using a lot of auras and it's like whatever, you can grab this one, but we don't have shrink back yet. So we don't really want this yet. This is maybe viable, but honestly, this is just the nuts all around. So I'd just stick with that. And knowledgeable. This thing is like, oh my God, so powerful for us. Power skill effect for our hero is like the king stat. Empower not only empowers us, it empowers the Magnus. Like every growth, nourishment, all those stuff gets boosted with your empower skill effect. So it's huge for us. On top of that, you get plus 10 defensive skill layers. Well, you're like, Mike, you're not using any defensive skills. Why is that a big deal? Well, I did say I was going to set up some auto defense. So if you want to be ahead of me, what you're going to end up doing is you're not going to change this. You're going to move this over to here. You're going to now at this point grab an auto defense. Where's trigger? Trigger. You're going to grab an auto defense at that point and you're going to put it in there. Above the auto defense, you're going to grab, I don't think it's going to let me see it. So we'll just go here, change. You're going to grab, where's defensive? Protection field. And what that does is it transfers 15% of the damage taken to a random minion. Combo that with our hero talent that's already doing 8. We're now like 23% being less damage. Really good. Really good. So we're going to have that on there and you're going to have to throw on a seal conversion at that point. So if you want to get that set up early, you can have that set up. Then your thing's going to get plus 10 level skills. It's pretty nutty. It's pretty good. Now you're like, Mike, what about your gear? My gear is I don't even want to show you it because I haven't really looked at it myself. Like I got this from the story. It doesn't even have gear energy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in tier 7s farming with no gear energy on my helmet. Let's talk about that. But the main things you're looking for are minion damage, weapons or interlocking souls, right? And you want to get minion damage. You want to get aura effect, additional spirit damage, Magnus ultimate damage, spirit Magnus enhanced skills, 9% additional damage. You know, these are the mods you're looking for. You don't care about mana. You don't care about the spell damage. Like those are just there. But like these 4 are like gold. Then you want like minion crit or like spell skill, stuff like that. If you're a Giga Chad. Rings, minion damage if you can find it, and resistances is you're good to go. Belt, same thing, minion damage, life, resistances. Boots, I went for move speed priority, so anything that I could find that was decent with move speed. Like this gear is really bad. I feel bad showing it to you. I have no explanation for this. I have no explanation for that. And then chest minion damage and yeah, energy I think was my thing. Finally, we're going to round out with hero traits. You're gonna get Friends We Are right away. You're gonna go down with Struggle Free as your option, because mainly, honestly, everything else, I saw +2 nourishment and the rest didn't matter. I didn't even read this one. If your Spirit Magnet has at least 2-stage growth when it uses a mind, yeah, that's garbage. Fuck that shit. +2 nourishment, done. We Shall Protect You. When a Spirit Magnet's cast base skills, minus 30% chance to lose one stack. And then this is also, essentially, it's making your minions get stronger. And then all your over resistances, they say for everyone excess fire resistance, you gain enhanced skills. Now, I don't know how over capped I am, but like, look at this. See, I'm already getting 6 over. 6 over is not a big deal, but the more you pile on to be overcapped, the more damage you're pumping in to your minions is what that does. You're going to pick up Socialite. As soon as you get Socialite, you're going to now have 3 Flame Elementals, which is great. This skill will make your guys be able to go into full bloom, but we're not at that stage of progress yet with the rest of our gear and everything. So we're going to get this later, but not yet. So this is definitely what you want while you're leveling. Socialite, get it. Finally at 80, grow with it is the nuts. Just grab it. And trust me, it's everything in here is just amazing. Gives you skill levels, gives you more damage, more nourishment. It's really good. Relics, the big one, the big ones you're looking for are Empower. Skill bonuses are applied to your Spirit Magnus, and cooldown recovery, or Spirit Magnus cooldown recovery, or chance to trigger Spirit Blossom, I think it's called. Dazzling Bloom. There you go. You have a chance. You have one that's like you have a chance to get Dazzling Bloom. Don't look at that yet. It's kind of bugged. It's bugged, so we're not going to show you. You know, Empower effect, Spirit Magnus cooldown recovery speed, and Empower effect, Spirit Magnus cooldown recovery speed. And I think that's everything. Divinity Slates, I guess we could talk about. Honestly, I just kind of threw in the first ones I found. I haven't even branded them. Yeah, we won't talk about them. Divinity Slates right now, but anything that says minion damage, you're happy with. Same thing with candles. Sometimes you get really good RNG and you just find the best candle you can right away. But yeah, you're looking for damage, reduced damage, resistances if you need them, and yeah, just pile on more damage. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully you can progress the same way I have now, and you guys have as much fun as I did. Check back tomorrow. I'll give you another update of where I'm at and what I changed, so you guys are up to date. And yeah, in the meantime, if you want, you can always join me live at twitch.tv/Mike. Oh, yeah, /Mike1Up. Hey, I remembered my own thing. All right, guys, you have a good one, and we'll catch you tomorrow.